I'm going to be talking about the Mike Tyson fight that he fought Jake Paul in. And whether you watched it or not, whether you liked it or not, it's all irrelevant. The whole thing is Tyson made $20 million. That's right. A 58-year-old guy made $20 million in one night. And Jake Paul, the guy that so-called beat him up, which he didn't. Anyway, the whole thing, Jake, the smartest guy, what a smart guy, he made $40 million. That's right, $40 million because he was the promoter of the fiasco or whatever you want to call it. It was a nice little play boxing session by Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. And then after the fight, somebody showed me one of them TikTok things of Jake when he was a teenager. And oh my God, what a talent. I mean, if I was effeminate and my God, I looked at him and he was dancing like a girl and he was so funny. And then he goes to Mr. Macho Man, going to beat guys up, going to beat Mike Tyson up. But anyway, when I was thinking about that thing, I was thinking about 50 years ago. About 50 years ago in 1976, I was, well, whatever it is, how many years, I had just graduated from college and I was sitting down in, I think it was Indianapolis at the Vogue Theater where they had the Muhammad Ali versus Antonio Inoki boxer versus wrestler fight. They had that on there. So I remember watching that thing. The Ali fight was just like the fight with Tyson, except it was a whole lot worse. Now just think, you got Antonio Inoki, a sellout crowd. I think is at the Budokan in Japan. Now Ali went there as boxing versus wrestler. They had all these special rules too, just like Tyson did, where he couldn't hurt Jake Paul. If he knocked him out, he wouldn't get paid. So in other words, he had to go to distance. And in Ali's fight, now Ali, now just think of this. He'd been a heavyweight champion of the world, this and that, but he was paid $6 million to fight what Ali thought was just going to be an exhibition or whatever. And it was put on by the Yakuza in Japan. So they told Ali what he wanted to do. So Ali said, no, sorry, that ain't happening. So they all of a sudden they had to go out and have a real fight. So when they having a real fight, and Inoki was like he was one of the wrestling gods with Baba. They were both in the nude. Let's see, Inoki ran off and he founded New Japan, while Baba was all Japan. And then the original Ricky Dozen, he was the guy that brought pro wrestling to Japan, and he was their first big star was Ricky Dozen. And the thing about Ricky Dozen, he was actually Korean and not even Japanese. But, that's shit that happens in pro wrestling and any job. So, anyway, they're going to go at it for real. And here was Ali. He didn't care. He was going to be show business no matter what. And Inoki, he was sort of scared of Ali and didn't want to embarrass himself because he was like one of the wrestling gods in Japan before the sellout crowd, where millions and millions of people were watching. So as soon as the bell rang, Inoki went running across and he slid like a baseball slide, like a hook slide, but he tried to kick Ali in the legs. And he kicked at him about 6 times, and I had some bruises. Ali had some bruises on his legs. But that was all he did. Then he laid on the ground like a turtle and covered up, thinking Ali was going to come down and go to grab him. So I guess he knew jujitsu. He would tie Ali up and hurt him, make him submit or whatever. But Ali just stood back, basically laughed, did that, thought he was Fred Sanford and Ali. And I'll just think 15 rounds. 15 rounds. I think theirs was 3 minutes with a just like boxing, because this is like the initial boxer versus wrestler thing. Ali threw 6 punches total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. In other words, I sat there like a dumbass in Broad Ripple watching it on the big pay-per-view screen in there. Or they called it closed circuit TV then. So I'm sitting there, I'm going, and all of a sudden you can hear the rumble from the fucking fans. So you talk about wanting to riot, rip the seats out, uh, and just cause trouble. So in one night, Ali got confronted by the Yakuza, didn't care, said no, the fight was going to be real. So Inoki didn't, he's in his home country, was basically embarrassed. He looked like a big chicken shit. He looked like a pussy. And there was Ali having a good time, threatening this, making faces, looking at it. It might have been Fred Sanford fighting, it seemed like, but Ali made $6 million. Convert that today. Well, I ain't a mathematician or whatever. And I don't think Ali even broke up a sweat. But anyway, it could have killed Inoki's career in the wrestling thing. But Ali, it was just like another day in the life of. So when you're a top star, a pro, whether you're Ricky Dozen or Inoki, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Hustler Rip Rogers, every day's a holiday. Every day's a Saturday. You just do what the hell what you want to do, and you can walk around and act like you're over.
I said, get ready, get ready, get ready. I got the dots on. I got the elbow ready, baby. We're gonna see it. Let's do it right now.